We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 404. There are no errors here. I am your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. Joining us this week is the reigning and currently defending undisputed scholar himself and Scholars of Wrestling heavyweight champion, the one and only Scholar Tarek. Scholar Tarek, how is your day going, sir?
My day is just going fantastically. I'm first going to say happy Thanksgiving, fool.
Thank you, fool. Hope you had a good turkey day.
I had quite an eventful turkey day, I can tell you that much. But if you don't mind, I'm gonna go right ahead and take control over this one with the introductions, because yes, it is I,
Oh
your
boy, here we
reigning,
go.
defending, undisputed Scholars of Wrestling heavyweight champion, welcoming you all to the Scholars of Wrestling Survivor Series War Games Prediction Show. And what makes this even more special is that now the Scholars of Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. I'm putting Big Goldie up for grabs to the number one contender, the winner of the Full Games Prediction Show, my undisputed Scholar tag team partner, Scholar Brian. Hello, Scholar Brian. Welcome, my worthy challenger.
Hello. It always seems fair and just that for the first ever Survivor Series War Games show, the undisputed scholars go one-on-one to decide who is the ultimate champion of the brand. You know, and it, as much as I've enjoyed your run so far, Scholar Tarek, you know, I held that title for the majority of the last 2 years, and it's just one of the I took a little break, but I'm ready to get it back now. so,
All right.
so
All right.
let
I enjoy the trash talking. It is some really good trash talking. A friendly
so let's
a friendly rivalry between a tag team. Yes, it is to see who is the best. But come on, Brian, let's be perfectly honest. The undisputed scholars are already the best because we've done it all already. Now we just have Scholar Jeff, Mr. Money in the Bank, Scholar Charlie, and the sore loser, Scholar Jeremy, coming in. They can now just sit in the back and just go on and make their predictions on their points, because what really matters is just the undisputed scholars continuing showing their dominance in being the title match of the final title match of 2022. And we will just continue to dominate this brand, keep Goldie on our shoulders, keep going of just showing how much we are the Scholars of Wrestling, sir. So
yeah, it's pretty much we already know. We already know it's undisputed. Okay, that we're the best. That we're the best.
Oh,
Okay,
please.
this is just a
If your
this is
egos were
just
any
a pride
bigger
thing.
and if your egos were an ocean, I could swim to Italy right now.
oh, let him go ahead and be sour of just
yeah,
I will be
all
sour.
the positive. Well,
I will be
yeah,
sour.
one
it's
thing
like
for sure.
this is a pride. This is a pride thing right now, but we already know. And as much as he's talking shit right now, okay, we know that he knows.
I'll tell you what I
so
do know. I do know that there is a certain third scholar waiting in the wings, little beefcase that he's gonna want to cash in as soon as he gets the hint.
As soon as
Apparently, he
you
missed out on a golden opportunity.
X, he's missed out on number of golden opportunities. You have to remind him that he is the Mr. Scholar in the Bank, but it doesn't matter because he can just stay in, run that beefcase until next time when it's up for grabs. It doesn't matter because all that does matter is that this pay-per-view, this title match is going to be undisputed.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting no matter what happens. But hey,
Brian, that's our new thing.
that reminder. Keep in mind, we gotta play up to the podcast, folks, kids.
Come on, Brian. I can talk as much shit as I want. You can talk as much shit as you want because we don't have anything left to prove. It's just seeing if the rest of them
we're already on top.
That mountain. Let's see if they
on top of the mountain. We're already on top.
Okay? We're essentially reaching our hands to have you guys join us. But we'd
love to have you join us.
But we're not going to make it easy. Doesn't mean we're going to make it easy for you.
Shall we get to the predictions already? So we can all leave nothing more to words. Let's bring it on and let's actually put our money where our mouth is. Put our predictions there too. This is WWE Survivor Series War Games 2022. Let's dive right in. Starting with the first match on the card. It's a triple threat match for the U.S. Championship. Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory. A lot going into this storyline. But, Tarek, it's your pickup first. What do you got?
The one thing that I really like about this card is that, unlike what we were saying last week, or at least what most of us were saying last week, was it's kind of a like pretty straightforward, some of these matches, even though in like 2 or 3 cases we got it wrong because they like to swerve at us. But when it comes to this match, it's honestly just a toss-up between Seth Rollins and Austin Theory for me. I feel like Bobby can actually get taken out of this match once this is, or out of the title picture temporarily once it's over. But the feud of Rollins and Theory are going to keep going. Now it's just the question on like where do we see like what happens in this match to bring us down that path, whichever way it goes. Is it Austin Theory being champion, or is it Seth Rollins being champion? Who comes out? Who comes out with this? I really like what they're doing with Austin Theory, and I like that he's building up now that this is Triple H's Austin Theory now, something that you and I talked about, Jeff, when he lost the Money in the Bank. This is going to be a completely different Theory, and we're getting that, and I like it. I think they're going to save him winning the title in a one-on-one match. So I'm going to go with Seth Rollins successfully retaining the U.S. title.
All right, Brian, it's your pick up next. Who do you got?
I was hoping you were going to go with Theory because we could have started off. We could have started off at odds. But
Brian, I'm actually thinking about having fun with this prediction show.
But it's one of those it's one of those times where, as undisputed scholars, we are of one mind, and it's like everything you said is what's going through my head. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you could do the ultimate heel thing and have Austin Theory pull out something here. But it would be one thing. But it would be one thing. You don't pull out the heel move on a guy like Bobby Lashley. Mm-hmm. Okay, because he's the guy taking the pin.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't feel you pull the ultimate heel move in a triple threat match. I don't feel like you do that on Bobby Lashley. If it was anybody else, I'd be like, okay, Theory's going to do the heel thing, and they're going to do the Austin Theory and all that. But, Bobby Lashley is legit, and I think you pull the trigger on Austin Theory, and if you really want to jump him up the card, if you will, you do the ultimate heel move in a one-on-one, which is basically what you said. So I think I think Austin Theory's gonna try to do the ultimate heel move in a triple threat match, and Seth Rollins is gonna overcome and retain the title, and then Austin Theory will do it, and then Austin Theory will get it a month down the line. So Seth Rollins to retain.
I look at it I look at it as a way of, if the ultimate heel move can be put in a triple threat, like Seth Rollins getting the stomp on Bobby Lashley and Theory just throwing him out and stealing the pin, doing the whole a new heist, doing a new heist on the heist of the century guy. I'm sure they're not going to use heist of the century guy, but you get my point.
Yeah, but I also feel like if you stomp Bobby Lashley, you got to get the pin on him immediately, because if you get the stomp on Bobby Lashley and then Austin Theory has to take time to kick Seth Rollins out of the ring and then go pin him, then at 2 Bobby Lashley's got to do the press.
The way
got to do the press into the room.
That could have been an ultimate heel. What I think is going to happen is pretty much the reverse of Theory being the heel man and just basically, if anything, like probably taking out Lashley with a chair or something. It's a triple threat match. There's no disqualifications. I see him at least like really beating him down, and then I see basically Seth Rollins being the ultimate opportunist he is, take Austin Theory out that way, and then curb stomp on 1, 2, 3. That's what I think is going to happen. Sorry, fool. You're gonna go ahead. It's your prediction.
It's okay. I'll tell you, because I'll tell you what, you had some pretty sound logic in this whole thing. I got no problem letting you go for a little bit. However, you made such a good point just now where everyone's talking about, okay, Austin Theory isn't going to win, but Austin Theory is also going to do all this stuff. Austin Theory is going to go for the ultimate heel move, yada yada. But honestly, your entire argument made me more and more certain that honestly, Austin Theory could take this. And frankly, I think he will. Because he's not part of the McMahon regime anymore. It's going to be a whole new Austin Theory. It absolutely is. But I think that's going to look differently than a lot of people are going to think it will. Where he is going to pull a heist. He is going to take the U.S. championship right now. Because let's be real, he lost a lot of momentum and a lot of heat after that failed cash in. That was just like, when the whole arena is chanting that was stupid, that's a fresh one. And it doesn't seem to be doing Austin Theory any favors. I think could be potentially the thing for him to get all of his heat back. And a mostly serious Austin Theory is going to be just the guy to do it. Someone slimy, someone who's very cunning, someone, a kind of heel that won't back down, is still relatively fresh, at least in this WWE landscape. So I can absolutely see Austin Theory pulling some crap to win the U.S. championship, reveling in his victory, but then all of a sudden, now you got Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley and whoever else, just everyone has their sights on Austin Theory. And he's not just going to be a coward. But he does have a giant target on his back. But either way, yeah, I'm going to go with Austin Theory to win this one.
The only way I would see Bobby Lashley win the title back is if it's now a reintroduced Hurt Business Bobby Lashley.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things that everybody on this panel, even the 2 that aren't here right now, could probably agree that Bobby Lashley ain't gotta be the one.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm just simply stating the fact that Bobby Lashley needs the Hurt Business back.
Absolutely, and I hope they do come back. But speaking of teams with backup, we've got our next match, AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. AJ Styles, of course, has Mia Yim and the OC as back Finn Balor's got the Judgment Day, and now is where their two leaders collide. But who's going to come out on top? Brian, it's your pick up first. So you got between AJ and Finn Balor.
Well, I'll tell you this. We know that Mia Yim and Rhea Ripley won't be involved because they're going to be too busy with what they've got coming on later to get involved with this. And if that's the case,
I think it's opening the show.
I think that this is the moment. I think that AJ Styles gets his win here. I think that AJ Styles gets his win because the linchpin of that entire group is Rhea Ripley. They are at their best when Rhea Ripley is involved, and Rhea Ripley is not going to be involved in this match. So if you're going to get AJ Styles a win in this feud, okay, now's the time to do it. So I would say in the one-on-one, AJ Styles will go over on Finn Balor.
I'll tell you what, I really am not yet convinced that Rhea Ripley and Mia Yim are not going to get involved in this match at all, just because they actually have a real legit wrestling match later on elsewhere in the night, let's say. But either way, the result is still the same, I believe. I agree with you that the OC needs this win, and no matter how you get there, you're still going to get there. I'm also going to pick AJ Styles for this one. Cool. It's your pick up next. Do we have an agreement, or are you going against the grain on this one?
This one is a very hard one. One, because I don't like that this match is on the card. Not just because I feel like, honestly, this should be their WrestleMania match for the OC. This one should have been, because it's Survivor Series, event known for having multi-man matches, like multi-man team matches. This should have been like full OC versus full Judgment Day. But again, that's just me. They're probably going to save that 4-on-4 match for Mania. Here's the thing. I want to go different, but I feel like there are other matches that I can actually pull the difference maker in. So I'm gonna go. AJ Styles hasn't won a match in, like, what is it now? 3 years? A one-on-one match on
pay-per-view. It feels like it.
I'm
not sure if it's actually true or not, but it feels like it.
It has been multiple years. That I do know for a fact. How long exactly? I don't recall, but I think it's 3 years.
Yeah, give the man a pay-per-view.
Give the man a win.
Please.
It's not even like I'm happy with either guy winning. I really am happy with either of them winning because I love both these guys so much. Honestly, I can't, like, because of what we discussed in a past episode, Fool, how I feel the United States title is the title of the brand of Raw. I kind of want their match to bring in the US title, because I feel like it should. AJ Styles and Finn Balor could be a feud that you can run your brand on. With that being said, yeah, I'm gonna go with AJ Styles winning. But honestly, I can see either of them winning, because this feud is gonna it's gonna continue on. If anything, they'll probably have Rey Mysterio come in and just distract Dominic and just distract the match. I don't know. But when it comes to Mia Yim and Rhea Ripley, I don't think they're gonna be in as much either, because not just to prepare, but I think the women's War Games is opening the show. I think they're opening and closing with a War Games. So
that would make more sense.
One of those things. It's also one of those things where it's like it would be completely different if it was a regular match. I could see them still being involved in a one-on-one match that has other people in their stable. But this is a War Games
Exactly.
match, unless certain people run the table, which could absolutely happen. But I mean, like it's like there's gonna be a lot of pain. It's like if they open the show, they're gonna be unavailable for matches that occur later in the night. So
That's why
that's
I feel
where
like
I was going. That's where I was going with the Rhea Ripley and Mae Em won't be involved, because I'm like, if it was a regular match, if it was a regular 5-on-5, then yeah, sure.
that's
Then yeah, they'll come out later and whatever. But
that's
this
why
is
I don't
War
like
Game.
them. That's why I don't like them in the War Games match. I want them to be involved with the storyline that they're currently in. The whole point of bringing Mia Im is to be the equalizer to Rhea Ripley, and she's not even gonna be involved with the match that they're having. It just doesn't right. It just doesn't fit right for me. I just don't think it works.
Interesting thoughts all around. But speaking of women's matches, next up we've got Ronda Rousey defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Shotzi, a newly freshly made face.
In the
And
most obvious match of the night.
I'll tell you what.
No,
Yeah,
don't even.
hold on. Bear with me now, smartass.
Okay.
Tell you what. Ronda, it's pretty obvious that in all likelihood Ronda Rousey is going to walk away with a victory here, and that's what I'm going to go for in the end. However, I predict that this is going to be one of those cases where even in defeat, it could be a really back and forth match, and I think that Shotzi is going to look far more credible now than she has the entire year by far. This could potentially be the thing to bring her up to the next level, but without actually giving her the belt. This is going to make her look like a contender in at least an attempt in a very similar way that they did with Liv Morgan. Does it mean that I think Shotzi will eventually win the women's championship? Jury's still out on that. I wouldn't be adverse to it. But right now, I feel like it's a little too early to call. I do think, however, that this match is going to be the continuation of this star-making turn for Shotzi. But at the end of the day, the result is still the same. Ronda Rousey is going to win. Tark, it's your pick up next. Are we in agreement?
We are. Shotzi's not winning this. This will probably be like a match for the people to get to actually see what she's capable of. I'm not sure if they're gonna if this is gonna put her in that thing of just full on next level as a contender, but as someone to actually pay attention to. If anything, I could see her and Raquel winning the tag titles before either of them win a world title. But I think that's where they would go, because I'm just not convinced. This will probably be like, again, just to show the audience, hey, this is someone you should pay attention to, not like in a way like, oh, you have to pay attention to her right now. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't put it quite on that thing, but just some kind of next push to give her the next step up the ladder of credibility, however you want to quantify that.
Okay.
But Brian, your pick up next. I believe we have an accord here, or do we?
I would love to have the same optimism that you guys have about what this match is supposed to do for Shotzi Blackheart. I would love to do that, but here's the issue. Okay, Ronda Rousey's gonna win. There's no doubt about that. You can write that down as my prediction. But the deal here is, okay, whether that's what they're going for or not, Ronda Rousey has not been good since she came back at the Rumble. She has not had an enjoyable match for me to watch. So, unfortunately, okay, she's not the right person you put Shotzi Blackheart up against if you want to make Shotzi look good, because it's not going to happen. Okay, Liv Morgan had 2 title defenses. They were both against Rhea Ripley, and that not Rhea Ripley, Ronda Rousey. What am I doing?
Well, to be fair, Rhea Ripley is something to think about.
Rhea Ripley is better than Ronda Rousey.
Oh,
and this is and that's the issue, because you're touting Ronda Rousey as this, and she's a celebrity and whatever, but since he's came back, she hasn't been shit. So it's like, it's all well and good that Shotzi's getting this chance, but I don't think that I'm not optimistic that what's gonna happen here is gonna make her look good.
I do disagree.
Ronda Rousey's gonna win. Ronda Rousey's gonna win, but I have my doubts about this doing anything for Shotzi.
The only thing I disagree with is there was only one fun thing that I had with Ronda Rousey since she came back, and that was her little rivalry with Adam Pearce. Because it was just it definitely had that very low.
Well, that was more Adam Pearce than anything else.
Oh no, I enjoyed her too. It was a very low tier Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold storyline. That was connecting with the crowd like hard. She was getting a hard cheer, and then what she did with Liv Morgan made it even worse. And then they decided, like, okay, let's just turn her heel. she ruined Liv Morgan. Let's turn her heel.
All right. And on that note, now we're getting into the final 2 matches, which are, of course, the War Games matches. Kicking things off first with the women's War Games match, where we've got the team of Damage Control, Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley versus a team of Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Mia Yim, and a returning Becky Lynch. Tarek, it's your pick up first. Who you got between Team Damage Control and Team Bianca, I suppose? What you got for us?
Pretty much the only thing I got is, does Becky's return actually change my opinion on this match? That's the big question I have. I said it on our scholars chat how I know Brian's, like, he said in the chat that he did, like, brand split means nothing to him anymore, but it really, I just couldn't get past the whole, like, this is a Raw feud, Raw angle, everyone in this match is Raw, but we're gonna have the final member big reveal on SmackDown, because this one is on the better network, gets the more views, so of course it makes sense that it's Becky Lynch. But it's just also that the only little benefactor that I could put on this that it makes sense is that the women's tag team champions are in this, so they kind of have that get out of jail free card, because that title can go to both brands. That's really it. When it comes to this match, I'm just trying to think who really can benefit more with this win. And I'm gonna go with Team Damage Control. Only because this match, it's gonna be Rhea Ripley getting the pin on someone. Hell, it'll probably be getting the pin on Bianca Belair to start their feud that they hinted at on the Go Home show. So that's my prediction. Team Damage Control, Rhea Ripley is the real star of that group, and they're going to exploit it right there.
Interesting pick. Brian, it's your pick up next. Who do you got for this one?
It's not that interesting.
I'm interested more by the logic of the pick in this case. Because again, with this many bodies, a lot of things can happen.
Because legitimately, okay, I think they're setting up for Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania this year, and this is the start of that. So, yeah. This ain't a great title match because we're of one mind on this one because I think Rhea Ripley runs the table. I think Rhea Ripley. It might be Bianca Belair, it might be Becky Lynch, but she's getting the pin on one of those two. Because it's just like Rhea Ripley's your hot hand right now. She's the most. She's got the most airtime. She's doing the most, and you're saying in interviews. You're saying in interviews outside, your champions are saying that you want to face Rhea Ripley, like your thing. Is you think Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair could be the next Rock Austin or whatever. So it's like, why would you not? Why would you not take advantage of that? So it's like when Bianca Belair is saying that, why would you not? Rhea Ripley wins the match for Damage Control here. And it turns out that Damage Control has nothing to do with it.
I'll tell you what. This is a very interesting one. Because I'm all on board with Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, eventually leading up to a match at WrestleMania. Totally on board with that 100%. Where I believe we differ here is how we're going to get there and the importance of this match in particular in getting us there. I'm not convinced that this match in particular is as critical as you two seem to think it is. Not to mention the fact that we're just now getting back a face Becky Lynch. So I'm going to say that not only can Team Damage Control afford to take a cumulative loss here, but I feel like it's going to be better in the longer term in order to get that big star match to give the face team a little something here. And I think that's going to mean a win by at least with heavy influence from Becky Lynch. So I'm actually going to go with Team Bianca for this one. Partially because I believed all that stuff I just said, and partially because I just really want to be contrarian. Go for points. Hey, both are true. I genuinely buy in both. I genuinely buy into both realities, but hey, I'm just killing two birds with one stone here. But anyway, speaking of
and I just realized what I just did because I have to be the first pick of this match.
Yes, indeed you are, because we are moving on to the men's Survivor Series War Games match. To recap, we've got the team of the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline and all it implies. Brian, it's like you said, it's your pick. Who are you going with?
Oh no, I have a feeling.
Say the words, Brian. Say the words.
See, because this is rough because if Tarek says the same thing that I say, then I'm gonna have to change it after he says it because we're not having a tie in our title match.
No, I do have I think
I just to advise, in all clarity, I did give this match the tiebreaker rule, the tiebreaker pick rather. So
Oh,
even if
okay.
you could, even if you do both go for the same pick, it is possible that there could be a difference in the tiebreaker. So
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to request that both war games get get tiebreaker wheels. uh,
Especially if we both pick the same.
yeah, because I have a feeling that we are.
let's in the spirit, here's my recommendation. In the spirit of pure competition and being honest with ourselves, I say make your honest pick. Make your most honest pick you possibly can. And in worst case scenario, if you both draw a name from the same side, we'll just keep spinning it until you get someone else. And then all the rest of us will make our picks. Our bonus picks rather. How's that sound?
That's fair.
Okay. So that being said,
So
Brian,
okay.
give us your
So
most
tonight,
honest opinion.
I kind of want to do like our
tonight
same time.
there are ways that you could pick both teams because the Brawling Brutes, Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre, have the man advantage, which would be a pick for the Bloodline. But then you have what happened tonight between Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Jey Uso, who Jey Uso told Jimmy Uso, and now everyone's side-eyeing Sami Zayn, and it's like, so that could be for the Brawling Brutes. I think they're gonna keep drawing this out. I don't think it ends at War Games. I think that the Bloodline take War Games. I think the Bloodline win.
Very interesting. The one thing I will agree with you with, Brian, is that there's enough evidence to go with this either way. So just to keep things interesting, I'm going to go with Team Brawling Brutes on this one, which leads us to Tarek. Who do you got between Team Brawling Brutes or Team Bloodline? Who's walking away with the W? It's okay. Let us hear it.
It really is just a really tough choice because that really, like everything you said, Brian, is absolutely right. But it just links the question on which, like, where do I see it going? Where do I see? Because it all stems down with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Jey Uso.
Yeah, it's all the question of when is the turn going to happen, because we know that at some point it's going to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos. But it's like, do they do that now, or do they keep it going? And
I think
it's the way the WWE has played this. It's very hard to tell.
This can go either way,
I do,
Tarek.
because I do agree. The Bloodline is not breaking up tomorrow night, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen anytime soon. I'm going to go with Team Brawling Brutes.
All right. So it's all going to come down to the men's war
No
games.
tiebreaker needed.
No tiebreaker needed. But God, I just don't like now with Kevin Owens back, and they're building up They started to build Sheamus up as a new contender for Roman. I don't see a night where both heel teams win, especially with it's the first men's War Games on the main roster. That's why, and yeah, with Kevin Owens coming back as now a definite top contender for the title, I think that's going to be a huge. It's going to be a huge benefactor to the Bloodline losing. The Bloodline can really afford the loss. It's not gonna hurt them. It's just now going to affect where Sammy is going, because even Kevin Owens said on the show they're going to turn on you. They're the ones that are going to. You may not turn on. It may be smart for you to turn on them before they turn on you. But if they want to keep Sammy as a baby face once the breakup actually happens, Kevin Owens has to be right. And Jay will probably be the one that actually really hits Sami Zayn. Whether or not, I think it's going to be an accidental thing. And I think that they will kick Sammy out on the SmackDown after after War Games, because I think Jay is going to be the one to get pinned, and it looks like Roman is going to take his anger out on Jay on SmackDown, but it's just going to end up with him taking out Sammy. He's going to blame Sammy for the Bloodline's loss, because the seeds were already planted with this one. Roman looking at Sammy last week, after you see Sammy out cold looking, you just see Roman look at him in disappointment because one, he lost again, and the week beforehand when Sammy was gone, the Bloodline looked as strong as ever because it was the Usos, Solo, and Roman. Which I have to, now that I mentioned Solo, there was one thing that scared me on SmackDown, because I think it was after Drew jumped off into the group, you saw Solo grabbing his leg. So I'm just like, oh no, I hope he didn't legit just get hurt. Oh, I really hope not. With that, but yeah, I just see the faces going out on top. So yeah, I'm picking the Brawling Brutes. All comes down to the main event. Of course it does. We are the main event.
Of course it does. But then again, just for kicks, just for ha-has, just to see where the chips land, we do have this match set up for a bonus point in the event somehow of a tie somewhere. Who knows? Maybe you may need it, Tarek. Wink. But anyway, Tarek.
To make it a tie?
Oh no, just the invent of some other tie that may or may not occur. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I'm gonna laugh if someone wins and then the other person gets their pick right and it's still a tie anyway.
Oh, well, we'll see how it goes. But Tarek, let's do you first, since Champ's advantage. Yeah. Let's go to the Wheel of Wrestlers. Wheel of Wrestlers, spin, spin, spin. Tell us the wrestler that should win. And Tarek's bonus pick is Jey Uso.
Because why the hell not?
Why the hell not? Why the hell not?
Brian, I wouldn't laugh too soon because you're up next. The wheel is spinning. The wheel is grinning. Sammy. And Brian's pick is going, which is going to be it's Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
Double tap. All right.
All right. Next up, we'll take my pick, and then we'll get to our two absent scholars to see what happens there. And my bonus pick appears to be, I got Sami Zayn.
Oh, there it is.
All right. Next up, we've got Charlie's pick. Charlie, let's see who you've got this time.
Ridge Holland.
Off by one. He's got Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Yes.
Hi, fella.
Yes, Charlie gets the fella. And now, for last, but
certainly
not least,
let's all pick a name. Let's see who Jeremy's going to land on.
We've got Jeremy's pick.
Who do you
Who's
think
it
he's gonna
gonna
land on?
be? Who's Jay got?
I've got Rich.
It is Butch, just barely.
Of course it is. Of course he landed on Butch.
Why wouldn't he
Pete
land
Dunne.
on Butch?
Why wouldn't he land on Pete Dunne?
But hey, with that, those are our picks completely for Survivor Series War Games for this Saturday. But now is a time in the show where we pitch it over to you, our fellow fans. Who's going to walk away with a win? Who's going to walk away with a belt? And what's going to happen next after all the fallout? No matter what you think, we want to hear from you all across the internet. Facebook posts, YouTube comments, wherever you are, we are as well. But we're also all across the internet, especially on Twitter. Fool, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at the Avataric.
Brian, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at Atomic Beanpole.
And you can reach me just trying to keep it all together at I'm Robbie Rage. Don't forget, you can also find all of these links with me messing up my words at I'm Robbie Rage, first of all. But for all these social links and more, just check the description for our link tree. That's linktree/Scholars of Wrestling. The trash talk never stops and the posting never stops, but you already knew that because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
See you all for some War Games.